Before I share this simple method with you for how to take 20 pounds off using simple math, I want to encourage you to consider redefining for yourself what being disciplined actually means. That being disciplined does not mean finally finding some mysterious motivation to get started in becoming healthier and more fit, and then going gun-ho and stripping all of your calories off that you like to eat and going crazy with all this intense exercise only to lose motivation because it's unsustainable a few months down the road and ending up putting it all back on, which was a cycle I was stuck in since as far back as I can remember. But rather, being disciplined means slowing yourself down and accepting that small improvements in any area of your life, in this case, we're talking about getting more fit, are big victories. That making small changes and sustaining those changes over time lead to massive differences over that time. So once you finally wrap your mind around that principle, then you can put this to use and it'll work for you the way it worked for me. Now, when it comes to taking the fat off, I tell people, you got to Shawshank Redemption that shit off. And what I mean is that anybody who's ever seen the movie Shawshank Redemption knows that one day, after being in prison for 20 years, old Andy Dufresne disappeared from his cell one night, and it appeared to be magic. And the warden's in his cell freaking out, wondering what happened, and he gets so frustrated that he picks an object up off the wall and he throws it at a poster that's staring at him on the wall, and that object goes right through that poster, and you can hear it echoing down a long tunnel that Andy Dufresne had carved using this method, which was every night Andy Dufresne took a little bit of material out of that wall, 1 or 2 tablespoons full. And the next day he'd go out to the baseball field and he'd let that fall out of his pocket and nobody noticed it happening. So here's how you lose 20 pounds with simple math. Now, I believe credit is due when credit is due, and I learned this method from Darren Hardy in his book, The Compound Effect, which I listened to on audiobook free on YouTube a couple of years ago, like 20 times in a row. And hopefully it's still there so you can go get out of it the choice information that I've gotten out of it. So Darren Hardy said to me, he said, Tom, what if I told you that if you took out 100 calories out of your diet, which amounts to be about 2 Hershey's Kisses worth of food every single day, well, that would be minus 100 calories times 365 days a year, which would equal minus 36,500 calories. And being that a pound is around 3,500 calories, well, that is 10 pounds of weight or more off, just like that. You didn't even miss it. So a lot of people ask me, they say, but Tom, how do I know what I'm eating every day so I know the amount and I can take off 100? Well, look, here's how you know you're eating about the same amount every day and you're doing about the same amount of activity every day, and that is you're maintaining your current weight, or should I say your current overweight. So let's say you can look at your diet and say, you know, every day I get a hamburger at lunch from McDonald's and I get a large fry. Take a look at this. What if every day you became disciplined enough to just trust in this small change process, and you took about 1/3 of the cheese that's on your burger off, and you took about 1/3 of the mayo that's on there off, you just scraped it off to the side, and you took 4 medium-sized French fries out of your large French fry. That's easily 100 calories. Right there for taking that out. That's 36,500 calories gone in 1 year. Now, I took this math formula one step further, being I'm so smart. And I said, well, what if I added about 100 calories worth of burning off every night in brisk activity? I did the math. That would mean that if I burnt 100 calories every night by adding some sort of like brisk walk or something, That would be minus 100 calories times 365. That would equal another 36,500 calories, which amounts to a whopping 73,000 calories at the end of the year, which amounts to be about 20 pounds. That's taking it off with simple math right there. And it worked. I started this about 10 years ago, which is when I finally got disciplined enough to make small changes rather than big ones. Now, how do you know how many calories you burn during exercise? Well, I turned to Google for this because there are a lot of great organizations out there who have done massive amounts of clinical data and research data on taking the pounds off and maintaining healthy weights. The American Diabetes Association, the American Cancer Society, the American Heart Association, the Mayo Clinic. In this case, before I did this video, I did some research and I asked Google, how many calories would I burn for 1 hour of brisk walking every night? And the Livestrong website, which is Lance Armstrong's website, came back and said, you'll burn almost 240 calories likely if you walk briskly every night. So I thought to myself, for 1/2 hour of exercise every night, and for removing a sausage link worth of food from my diet every single day, I could lose 20 pounds. And it works. So I use this principle now, which is simply the compound effect, which was the name of the book, which Albert Einstein said is the most powerful force in the universe. I use the compound effect now to make these small changes to the way to a number of areas of my life. I mean, you have about 6 areas of your life that if you make the small improvements in, boy, you'll start to feel really jiggy about how things are going for you. You have your getting in shape, right? You have your emotional health, your psychological health. You have your spiritual health. You have your finances. You should be learning something new every single day. And then you have the big one, which is your relationships. We're going to be talking about a lot of these over time. So listen, I want you to hear this from me. I have nothing but confidence in you that you can put this to use, that you can slow yourself down. That's the big hurdle. Can you slow yourself down and put the compound effect, which Albert Einstein again said is the most powerful force in the universe, to work for you? I know you can do it. I have complete faith in you. All right. Much love, and I look forward to sharing more of what I've learned over the last 14 years with you coming up pretty soon. Have a great day.